Good afternoon and welcome to SFSU TV. Imagine that you lost your home and found yourself without money out on the street. Where would you go to find food, shelter, and help? Thousands of homeless people face this question every day without knowing the answer. Now, to help the homeless with this question, a resource guide has been made available. With me I have Scott Dennis, the author of the guide. And Scott, first tell us a little bit about what's in this guide.
The guide is supposed to be a complete set of resources available for people that find themselves in that situation. The whole concept was that agencies and service providers, they know their particular area of expertise, but we wanted every point of contact to have the full range available.
So they will find out where they should go to get help.
Where they can refer people.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea to write this guide?
Having gone through the experience myself, I found myself, when I first came to San Francisco, I arrived here with nothing, went through the shelter system and got myself into a hotel. And I discovered there's a lot of collective knowledge out there about what's available, but there really wasn't any one place to go to find out all of it.
And now this resource guide will help gathering all this. What kind of specific information is in the resource guide?
Primarily, the very first section in the booklet talks about getting the welfare programs, getting onto the county adult assistance program, the general assistance programs, into job training and that sort of thing. But it also goes into where shelters are, where you can actually go for daily meals, and where you can go to free pantries and get groceries and that sort of thing. Medical care, many other things.
So when you were homeless yourself, how was that? How did that? What was that for you to find everything that you were looking for?
It was a definite process. It took a long time, actually, to figure it all out. And actually, the hardest part was to get off of the street. I mean, getting into a shelter is easy in this town, but getting out of the shelter, it turns out to be a little bit difficult. And it took a lot of collecting information to figure that part out.
And the guide helps doing that too?
It does, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To give the viewers a sense of the importance of this guide, what is the worst case scenario for a homeless person who don't know where to go?
Well, the absolute worst case scenario that I see is people that are basically incapable of fending for themselves. And so they find themselves not only homeless, but with maybe mental problems or some other barrier that keeps them from finding help. And so for that, most of the shelters and a lot of the agencies provide case management. And so this guide was actually intended specifically for the case managers so that they had the full range of everything available.
Okay. You also said that the city agencies are using this resource guide. How do they use it?
Well, like for instance, the mayor has the HOT team, the housing outreach team, and they carry it in their cars. And when they find people on the streets that have difficulties or needs, they'll deliver a copy right there. I've seen the police carry it. The police are quick to tell me that they're not social workers, but they do like having the information available in case there's a specific need they can respond to.
What kind of feedback do you get on the resource guide?
I get a lot of very good feedback. What's interesting is I didn't actually intend for the booklet to really be used directly with homeless people. I intended it specifically for agencies and churches and that sort of thing. But at the Coalition on Homelessness, where I volunteer right now, I very often have people come in and tell me that they personally found the book useful.
And now we're talking the homeless people, right?
The homeless people themselves.
How do they find it useful?
Well, like for instance, finding food every day. There's really two kinds of resources in this town to help homeless people. The first kind is just to get you through your day, finding clothing, finding food, shelter, that sort of thing. But then the other component to it is getting people out of poverty, getting them into employment and that sort of thing. And the largest section in the booklet actually is about finding employment.
Okay. So finally, where do the homeless people find this resource guide?
They can certainly get it at the Coalition on Homelessness, but they will actually encounter it as they seek services from the city and like the Mental Health Association and places like that. They will definitely encounter the booklet. The other way is go to the website.
And it's also free, right?
It is free.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for your time, Scott Dennis. If you want to learn more about the resource guide, you can visit the webpage at www.sanfranciscohelps.com. Here you can also donate money. $25 will pay for 100 copies. I'm Martin Walser. You're watching SFSU TV, and we'll be back after this.